Hi everyone, we'll today do a session on Azure Networking. My name is Sachin Chaube. Our agenda will be first, we will have an introduction, then we'll go for Azure Networking, and then final tips and takeaway. About introduction about myself, my name is Sachin Chaube. I've been working in IT industry for more than 17 years and in cloud world for more than 7 years. So let's take the second part of Azure Networking. In Azure Networking, what exactly is when you talk about Azure Networking? There are two parts of the networking. Is first north south, that is data from outside tries to enter into Azure services which we are consuming and our feature or services. Second is east west, the service within our Azure environment talking to each other. Okay, so that's the whole networking part out there. Last is Azure for operation services. Operator services are for 5G. For example, for if you have to have a 5G requirement for your business application purpose. So there are multiple options out there which you can explore and work on top of that. First, okay, let's understand the basic is first is virtual net. Virtual net you can consider as a piece of a small land. Okay, if if you go to any area, for example, if you want to go to California, you have a small piece of land, so you can take California as Microsoft Azure, and you have on sector 42 a specific piece of area. Okay, so that you can as virtual network based on what is your need. If you have this piece of land can be on top of a building, you are using a small apartment out there, that can be the case. So depending upon what is your purpose, virtual network can be considered as a in real world as a plot is a very good example out there, a small piece of land. Azure Virtual Network Manager, we have virtual network to manage if you have a big environment where you have multiple subscription. Okay, and you have to manage that as a network or as a cloud architect. It's a very tedious job, so you can take help of Azure Virtual Network Manager that can help you in doing that. Azure DNS, whenever you go to any website, you type www.google.com or uh, microsoft.com, it goes to the server. That is done with the help of domain name server system. So Azure have its own DNS services. It provide lots of features. Okay, so we'll explore them in later section out there. So uh, next is Azure Bastion. Bastion is one of the service where with the help of SSH and web you can access the servers and work on top of it. Okay, so you don't have to open any portal out there. With the help of Bastion you can directly connect to your servers, work on it, and once your work is done you can come out. Next is web application firewall. Web application firewall, okay, the whole purpose is it's a pipeline. Any request from internet before coming to your server, it will filter out whether it is an attack or SQL. Somebody is trying to do cross site scripting, or somebody is trying to do SQL injections, or you want to restrict that only requests from certain countries should approach. This all can be done with the help of web application firewall. As the name suggests, web, it is on the layer 7. DDoS, same as WF, WAF or web application firewall. DDoS works on layer 3 and layer 4 of network. So as web application firewall, it works on layer 7, it works on layer 3 and layer 4, where you have a request which can be which at layer 7 is correct. Or for example, the first name, distributed denial of service attack, that can happen on, you can stop it at the layer 3 and 4 rather than going to the layer 7. So such kind of business application can be done with the help of, okay, denied of service or DDoS, distributed denial of services out there. Let's come as Azure Firewall. Azure Firewall is a security protocol for the data and the network translation. That is mostly Azure Firewall is for east-west communications, or even what data should go out and what data should go out of the network. You can restrict which data or which port should it allow you to access out there. You can do it with Azure Firewall. Azure Firewall Manager, again same like virtual network manager. In here, Azure Firewall Manager, it manages all across subscription your firewall. Okay. Azure Private Link, any SaaS service which is provided by Azure, if you want to consume within your network without what do you call, without having to explicitly perform activity, Private Link it's not only in Azure, in all, either be AWS or GCP. Private Link is one of the best option to explore and work on that. NAT gateway is, for example, if you have services in your Azure network which you want to consume internet, okay, so from within the VNet, your server wants to go outside, get the data from the internet and come back. The best secure way is to use NAT gateway, and highly reliable, secure and scalable outbound connectivity out there. Any static content you wanted high performance, either be image, HTML file, JS, videos, or same content which you are watching right now. For the YouTube have its own dedicated CDN services which provide a high reliable content which you can watch and in nanoseconds. Okay. Azure Front Door, it is on top of CDN. It provides you to, it does not only do CDN activity, it also do load balancing. It also depending on the region, it will reroute your request. So it's a upgraded version. It's come now. If you go, we will have tips and tricks. It goes into the umbrella of load balancing. Traffic Manager, it is for non-HTTPS request, where from DNS, if you get the request out there, basically for chat and other kind of business application where you have to have WebSocket based communications, Traffic Manager is a better option to explore. Application Gateway, again come as HTTPS services, where you have a HTTP service which you want people to consume and work on top of that. Okay, so it manages lots of services, just like it also manages authentication. So being part of network, it gives you lots of application features and benefit which make it more user friendly to go for. Instead of going for load balancer, go for application gateway. Virtual LAN, previously we used to have a hub and spoke model where, for example, I have a virtual net in Australia, one in New Zealand, one in India, one in USA. So if they have to communicate, so I have to set up a hub VNet or virtual network, and then I have to do pairing with each other to resolve that issue. Virtual net WAN, but virtual WAN go 2 step ahead. It provide you much more feature than just only peering. So it have you can do VPN gateway, you can also do express route, you can have that, you can virtual LAN is the way ahead for any organization which wants to have a large scale solutions out there. VPN gateway is mostly point to point VPN connection or site to point to have a VPN connection. For that purpose we use VPN gateway. Express route is a private connection, so it as it defined out here, you can get a private connection to your Azure services out there. Network Watcher, it's kind of monitoring service or observability services where you can watch your network and see how exactly it's performing and diagnose any issues and report out there. You can build metrics as well from here. Azure Route Server, it's a you have any network compliances and you want to connect, so it's defined out here itself which you want to connect with virtual network. So Azure Route Server is used for that purpose. Azure Orbital Ground Station, it's you have in your own satellite and you want to get the data from the satellite into your Azure services. So this service is used for that purpose. Again, you might have used in your organization Microsoft Team, where in Microsoft Team you want to give the feature of from there where you can make a fixed or mobile network calls out there. If you want to do that specific operations in your Microsoft Team, then you will use Microsoft Communication Gateway. Again, now we have completed north, south, east, west. Now we are going purely to Azure Operator Services. So first is private 5G core. For example, I have my own car. For example, Elite technology where we have a car. So if I want to give my car a 5G based services, so that because all electric car have if I go for automations out there, so that specific kind of business cases, private 5G core make help where if because it's a car, I can go for cross country, I can go for 7-8 countries. So as the dynamic nations or nations of my environment change based on the connectivity and all these things, so for that part of edge communications, these are good. This is for the operator where you can have 5G network based communications out there. Next is network function manager. It's again for 5G operator based things, where 5G operations with your SD-WAN network you can perform out there. And if you have a requirement where programmatically, because if mostly these are used for IoT based applications, so you can program where as the objects are moving you want to redefine the networks and other things. So for that specific business requirement you will go for it. Now we will go for the final tips and tricks. So how do you decide load balancing? Okay, first start whether it's a HTTP or HTTPS application. If say yes, then we'll proceed further. We'll go with the example and we say no. Whether it is internet facing application, we say no, then it's a internal your internal application. Azure Load Balancer is a good option out there. Okay, if it's internet facing application, so it's a global or deployed in multi-region. If that's the case, then we'll go with traffic manager plus Azure Load Balancer. So come back to the old case where we have HTTP and HTTPS based application and internet based facing application. We say yes. Okay. So it's a web application. It's a internet facing application. We say no. So it's a intranet based application. So application gateway based router is correct. Now when we say it's an internet facing application, where it's a global application, okay, or it's a regional base. If it's a global based application, we will check whether we want SSL offloading, because once SSL offloading happens, the processing speed gets faster. Okay, so that's where do you require SSL offloading or application layer processing per request. If you say yes, then Azure front door plus application gateway would be the advice. If no, then host a PaaS or AKS hosting, and PaaS you can use as Azure front door. Okay, for PaaS, if it is AKS, you can use Azure front door plus application gateway or ingress controller. If it is infrastructure as a service, you have a VM, then you can go ahead with Azure front door plus Azure Load Balancer. Okay, if it is not a global deployment, it's a regional. Okay, do you require performance accelerator? The answer is no. Then you go for application gateway. Okay, so when you choose your gateway, you have to define what exactly is the recommended traffic out there. When you have a request where you are going to use HTTP or HTTPS and it's a global, prefer to go with Azure front door. If you have a requirement which is global, but non-HTTPS based application prefer to go for Azure Traffic Manager. You have a requirement where is application gateway service type is regional, not global, then you can go for HTTPS. Last but not least, that is Azure Load Balancer, which is regional or non-global but non-HTTPS. Okay, so if you see what Microsoft recommendation is going ahead is, if you have HTTP based application, better you go with either Azure Application Gateway or Front Door. So we, as I have explored on virtual WAN, let's understand, see where now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 VNets are trying to connect out there. At the same time, you have express route and site to site VPN and point to site VPN using your laptop. And the core difference between DDoS versus WAF is primary purpose to mitigate DDoS based attack. Its primary purpose is to protect web application from web based attack. The threat which addresses high volume traffic flow protocol attack. Where they are using the protocol but they are not performing that specific operation. WAF core is SQL injection, XSS, and OSAP top 10. Here network level integrated with VMs, load balancers, and where you can deploy DDoS based protections. Where you can deploy WAF is web application level integration with application gateway and front door. Automation integration is yes, automation integration is no, because it's a rule based configuration. Traffic monitoring, both have yes. Custom rules, no, but WAF have custom rule. Managed rule sets, no, which is only available in WAF. Logging and analytics both have that, because it's cost protection. Yes, DDoS have cost protections, so you can say up to this limit of protection it is provided, after that it should be, because to manage. The fourth is Bastion with VNet pairing. Bastion does not support right now virtual WAN. So if you have a requirement where you are using Bastion, it's better to still go continue with your VNet pairing instead of switching to VLAN, which is still not yet done. As per the video recording till today, the issue still exists. For Azure networking links, please have these 4 links in your preferences, because these are the 4 links even I am using for my purpose, and I hope it would be helpful for you. Thank you.